Hello everyone, this is Anwar Zahi and this is your channel Smart English. I'd like to introduce you today a very important and crucial video about speaking task number 2 in TOEFL iBT. This task always contains a lot of mixed things between conversations and passage, as you know. So the best thing that I would like to understand well that there is two tasks, two missions that you have to carry out. First of all, you have to read the passage quickly and summarize the main ideas and the reasons that mentioned by the writer in this passage. Almost it will be about a change in the policy of the university campus. If it was an article or maybe an announcement or maybe a passage, anything, whatever it was, you have to put in your mind that you are going to take two reasons because of this change. So let's see something about these topics to practice doing it today. Number 1, let's read the direction at first. The university is making a change in the course it will offer. Read the article from the university newspaper about the change. Give yourself 45 seconds to read the article. Let's move on to read this article and take out the main ideas. University administrators announced yesterday that the sculpture program, a division of the arts department, will be eliminated. The main reason is a lack of students' interest, reported one administrator. Although the number of the art students has increased, fewer and fewer art majors are taking sculpture classes. Furthermore, the department's only sculpture professor is retiring this year. Given the art department's limited budget, the administrator explained it just doesn't make sense to hire a new full-time professor to teach sculpture for only a handful of students. These are the reading or the article mentioned by the administrators of the university. You have to take out notes carefully and accurately. So now, if you read again with focusing eye, that you will find that there is an elimination to the department because the fewer numbers of the students that enrolled in this course, okay? And the policy related reasons is about two things. The first one is lack of students' interest, okay? The second one is the department only sculpture professor is retiring this year. They are the two elements or the two factors that leads to a change into the campus university policy, okay? So now you have to write down these notes according reading this passage or article. It's in your mind that you have to take notes, the two reasons here. Then let's move on to read this audio. This is a transcript about the same topic. Two students are talking with each other. Narrator says, now listen to two students discussing the article. Male student, number 1, everything all right? Female students, yeah, I'm just upset about that article I showed you this morning. Why? What's the big deal? Well, as an art major, I think it's a big lose for the department. The university has got it all wrong. What do you mean? Well, the low enrollment is not because of art majors don't want to take this course. Problem is, who has time to take them when there are so many other requirements? Male students, I don't understand. See, the classes they are eliminating are all optional. The required courses are mostly painting and drawing and they take up all our time. What we really need are different requirements. Then art majors could take a better variety of classes, all the things we're interested in. That makes sense. But the thing is about the professor. Well, that's true, but still they are being drastic. If money is a problem, they could hire a part-time professor, or most of the professors in the department have secondary fields. Really? Yeah, at least a few painting teachers are also great sculptors. I'm sure one of them could teach a class. And as you see now, this is a transcript or the audio, okay? It was not prepared as an audio, so I have to read it in front of you, okay? From the first glance to this transcript, you can find that the other side of the students, the female student, doesn't like the idea. She doesn't like the change of the policy of these administrators of the university. So she says, I think it's a big lose. Let's move on to see the next reason. She defeated some reasons for this point. She says that the required courses are mostly painting and drawing, and they take all up our times. So she defended the reasons mentioned by the policy of the campus and said that it was not the low enrollment of the students into this section. It is because they don't like all the time painting and drawing. Sculpture is not always all the time painting and drawing. Many students suffer from wasting their time in just painting and drawing, and this is the first reason. Let's move on to see the next one. The policy mentioned that the professor is retiring, so they have to hire a new one with a full-time job. This will cost them a lot of money, okay? The girl doesn't like the idea. She says they can hire a part-time professor. So now, most of you were wrong when they are just listening without taking notes. So number one, you have to take notes and use the idea that the student disagree with the policy of the campus university to rebut all of these claims from the university policy, okay? Let's move on to see what are the possible steps that we can take about this question. In this question, there is a question outlines here. As you see now, there is 4 steps you can do, okay, to answer this question. It was about number 1. The first one is that you have 45 seconds to read and take notes or an announcement or a letter or an article. As you see now, we have here an article, okay? The second one is listen to a conversation between a man and a woman about the reading passage. This is the step number 2, that you will hear a conversation between man and a woman on the same topic that provided previously at the reading passage, okay? Number 3, and this is very important, 30 seconds to prepare. You have only 30 seconds to prepare your response. The first one is that you have 60 seconds to answer or to speak, okay? And this is a long time, as you know. For the professional and advanced levels of learners, I think it's a suitable time to express about what they are thinking about this and answering these questions. Now let's move on to see the possible introductions. I think that it's more essential that you can determine from which point you can start your speech. This is a very turning point in your success in answering this question. Because if you know which point you will start from, this leads to a good success, okay? So now, this is possible introductions to such a question like this in a speaking section, question number 2. Number 1, you can say or start your speech using this sentence. The reading passage announced that change on campus policy. You can use this statement. Using this statement, you can see it seems like there will be a change on the university campus, okay? One of these 2 sentences can summarize and give you the powerful directions and they get you into or involve you into the topic that you are dealing with. So I sure that you have to make a good starting point, okay? If you have the starting point in a good way and you memorize all these sentences, I completely agree that you will answer the question very well. Because if you know, and again I say this sentence, if you know well from where you can start, this is a good point that you start your speech from this point. Okay, let's move on to see how can we answer this question. As you see now on the screen, this is the steps of the perfect answer. Number 1, the first one. The reading passage announced a change on the policy. This is, as we said before, the introductory sentence, okay? And give here, after you give the introductory sentence, the first reason. They say that the sculpture program, a division of the art department, will be eliminated. They assume that the administration policy or the administration campus policy assumed that they have a lack of student interest. This is because fewer and fewer majors are taking sculpture classes. Moreover, the department's only professor is retiring this year. At first, you have to put the introductory sentence, then mention the first reason, second reason, and here is wait to listen to the audio and put the first defense from the students to these claims from the reading passage, and then mention also the second defense from the audio that you will hear. Okay, so now the second step is transition to the conversation. You have to use some transitive sentence. This transitive sentence can make your speech very smoothly and slowly transitive from a place to place. Okay, state the first speaker's opinion. You have to mention the speaker's defense about this thing, okay, and provide one specific reasons. Number 3, state the second speaker's opinion. Provide one specific reason. Number 3, you have to state the second speaker's opinion. The second's defense, okay, or defense to the point of view from the policy of the administrations. Then you have to provide a specific reason why they mention these reasons, or why the girl or the man mentioned these reasons, okay? Number 4, and this is an optional, you can do it or not, no problem if you omit this step. You have to draw a conclusion to your speech. As an example, you can say, as you know now, I'm really understanding what is the change of the policy, and the girl disagree completely with this point of view, or maybe she agrees with this point of view. Okay, I'll show you now how can we summarize all we have said now. Let's get started reading what we will speak now. Reading passage announced a change on campus policy. The sculpture program, a division of the art department, will be eliminated. They assume that they have a lack of students' interest. This is because fewer and fewer art majors are taking sculpture classes. Moreover, the department's only professor is retiring this year. The woman disliked the idea. She starts off by saying that they will eliminate the department not because the lack of students' interest, but because the students wasted their time only on drawing and painting, not on sculpture. She also mentioned that they can hire a part-time professor instead of full-time professor, or they can inquire some teacher for assistance. As you can see, the woman is dissatisfied with the new policy. As you can see from my reading or speaking now, there is colored sentence here. All of the colors refer to something that I mentioned previously. Number 1, the green one, a division of the art department will be eliminated. This is the first reason that mentioned by the campus policy, that they will eliminate a division of department. Okay, number 2, this is in blue. It's because the first reason why they will eliminate this department. Okay, they eliminate it because of the lack of student interest. They claim that they doesn't like this department. Okay, and moreover, they add another reason for this elimination. It was about the department only professor is retiring this year. Okay, and now here is the women dislike the idea. The transition sentence is here. The women dislike the idea. To move between the sentences smoothly, okay, without restrictions, okay. Do not give the feeling to the reader or the listener that you have some troubles between the sentence and the other, okay. And this leads to a well-coherent topic, okay. She put her defense or rebuts all of these claims by saying they can also, it is not for eliminating because the student doesn't like the department of sculpture, but they wasted their time doing drawing and painting only, no more than that. Okay, the next one is about professors that will retire this year. How can we solve this problem? The girl also disliked this idea because she suggested that they can hire a part-time job professor to do this mission instead of the one who is retiring this year. At the end of this speech, you can say draw a conclusion or not. It belongs to you. It's up to you. So now, let's move on to do more sentence and complete your speech. Use a transition on to the conversation. okay, to move between ideas and make a coherence and covering all the ideas without any problem. Okay, state the first speaker's opinion. You have to mention the defense of the speakers, whatever he is agreeing or not, okay, with the policy. Okay, provide one specific reason, as you see now here. And the number 3, you can state also the second speaker's opinion and provide one specific reason why he claimed or supported this point of view. And as we said before, number 4 is to draw a conclusion to this speech. Whether it was included or not, it is not a problem. It's optional. Okay, I hope by this way you understand the strategy that leads to a very well answered question in speaking section in question number 2. I hope you are well. See you in another video.